It's been a season full of hardships for the Fordham Rams. A 2-15 record in conference play going into their final contest this afternoon. Their leading scorer missed 3.5 weeks in January due to injury. They find themselves dead last in the A10 conference standings. But in college basketball and in the A10, nothing is lost in February. The Rams find themselves less than a week away from a trip to Richmond, Virginia for the A10 tournament, where everything is still up for grabs, and they aren't going to stop believing. But tonight, it's one last dress rehearsal for these Rams, and it comes on the road against a pesky St. Bonaventure squad. The Bonnies have taken down 2 of the top 5 teams in the A10 in conference play this year, and they've got something to play for heading into March, trying to hang on to a potential first-round bye on the final day of the conference season. But there's reason for optimism today for Fordham. They took down the Bonnies a month ago back in the Bronx, coming back from a double-digit deficit in the second half to get their first win of conference play. Now they'll look to do it again on the road here to get a burst of momentum heading into the madness that is March. On this finale of February, it's the regular season finale of the A10's 50th anniversary. It's the Fordham Rams. It's the St. Bonaventure Bonnies. It's Fordham women's basketball. And it's next on WFUV Sports.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Welcome to the Riley Center in Olean, New York, where today the Fordham Rams look to end their season on a high note going into March against the St. Bonaventure Bonnies, who can clinch a first-round bye with a victory this afternoon before the A10 tournament in Richmond begins next Wednesday. My name is Max Langer alongside Anthony Smith. And Anthony, this year has not gone according to plan for Fordham, but in a couple of hours, the regular season records are of the past, the slate is wiped clean, and it's all eyes forward as we head into March.
Yeah, Max, that's just the beauty of the A10. Everyone makes the tournament. Fordham, although they're going to sit at the bottom of the standings going into Virginia next week, they have some positive going for them. Played a really tight game against a well-tested Davidson team on Wednesday night, one of the best teams in the A10. They've also beat the St. Bonaventure team earlier in this season. I mean, it's all about just getting a clean slate, and right after this one, that's what they're going to have, but a chance to at least get some momentum going into the tournament. They got a lot of good players who can score both ways, and Coach Bridgette Mitchell mentioned that she thinks this team can be dangerous when they're on one.
Well, we talked with Coach Mitchell pregame. She talked about that Davidson game, that St. Bonaventure game, and what this team's trying to do as they head into March. Take a listen.
Max Langer here with Anthony Smith, speaking with Fordham women's basketball head coach Bridgette Mitchell. And Coach, going into tonight's game, you guys beat this team by 10 last time you played, or you guys came back from 10 last time you played this team about a month ago. Is there anything you're taking from that as you go into tonight, or is each game a different circumstance in terms of what it presents?
Yeah, they've definitely got some time to become a better team, as did we. So I think that their ability to score is going to be really challenging for us. So I think that the focus for us today is to make sure that we're taking care on the defensive end. But again, like every game is different. And we have to prepare for it, but they've improved in terms of their ability to score. So we're really looking forward to getting after it on the defensive end tonight.
Coach, you said you were really proud of your team effort on Wednesday night against Davidson, a really good team in the A10, specifically within getting points in the paint. Not a lot of three-pointers put up. How do you look to ensure that you guys follow that same game plan going into today's game against St. Bonaventure?
Yeah, we talked about it in film in terms of how well we defended Davidson to keep them out of the middle in the second half. So we're going to look to do that right from the beginning of the game. Bonnie's thrives when they're able to get to the middle of the court, to find their shooters, to dump to their posts and all those different things, and really get to their mid-range jumper. And so we're going to limit the amount of times that they get middle penetration. And so that's going to be one of our biggest keys so that we can mimic that similar tenacity that we had against Davidson.
Coach, this is your final game before you guys go to Richmond for the A10 tournament. What are you looking for out there from your players to sort of get a boost, get something momentum going as you head to next week?
Yeah, I thought that we had good momentum coming out of Davidson. We're looking to repeat that, and if we continue to play that way, we'll have great energy and optimism in the tournament, especially with that first round of the tournament.
And Coach, a lot of energy on Wednesday night against Davidson, specifically because of senior night. But How do you try and keep that energy going within the team? What's the message going forward for this last regular season game?
Yeah, we talked about it. That was the last game in Rose Hill. This is our last game of the season, right? So, you get another opportunity here to end the season how you want to. A big thing for us specifically is it's their senior night today, right? And so think about the passion that you played with for your seniors. They're going to do the same. So we have to make sure that we're upping our intensity and our effort. So it'll be a good battle of the energy, the passion. So it should be a really good game here this afternoon.
Thanks very much, Coach. Fordham Women's Basketball coming up next on WFUV Sports.
Back here to the Riley Center in Olean, getting all set to go here at St. Bonaventure. Starting lineups coming out onto the floor after a very emotional Senior Day celebration for the St. Bonnies, in which they honored Gabby Robinson, Lacey Drake, Aaliyah Parker, and Mia Davidson. Rams getting set to go with their starting lineup. They will start 4 guards. Alexis Black Anthony makes her return to the starting lineup. The 5'5" freshman Curran Easley at another guard. Lucretia Edwards picked up the slack so much when Alexis Black was gone. She will start here in this final contest of the year. Anastasia Veljovic in there as well, and the big woman, Emma Wilson-Saltos at 5'11", is the forward.
Yeah, for this Fordham team, they have a big three in Lucretia Edwards, Corinne Easley, and Alexis Black. Have not really seen a lot of those three play at their best all together, with Alexis Black obviously being injured. But now all three are back together. If you can get all three of those on the same court, playing their best game of basketball, going to the tournament, this team can be dangerous. And Emma Wilson-Saltos, expect her to have a big game, has her season high 16 points and 16 rebounds against this St. Bonaventure team a month ago down in the Bronx.
All 5 of them on the court here in the starting lineup as Fordham looks to get a little bit more momentum before they head to Richmond next week. We look at the Bonnies starting lineup. They will start 4 guards as well. Mackenzie Pettinelli, the sophomore at 5'10". Aaliyah Parker, we just mentioned her being celebrated for senior night. She will start as well. Gabby Robinson, Lacey Drake, and Elise McDonough, one of the most dangerous three-point shooters on this St. Bonnies team, will round out the starting 5 here. Lineups being introduced right now. Anthony, we talked to Coach Mitchell pregame. She mentioned how this team had so much momentum coming off that Davidson game. It was a loss, but it was a good loss against one of the best teams in the A10. We really need to see this Fordham team going out here, continue that momentum if they want to have hopes in Richmond next week of knocking off some teams in the tournament.
And kind of related to your last point, Max, they did have a lot of momentum. They had a lot of energy. It was Fordham Senior Day. Now they're trying to get some revenge here on St. Bonaventure Senior Day. Coach B mentioned in the coaches that she wants this team to come out with the same energy that this St. Bonaventure team is going to have to try and play for their seniors, just how Fordham was on Wednesday night. And Fordham just trying to get a little revenge for their Senior Day loss, trying to spoil St. Bonaventure Senior Day here in Olean.
Well, we will get going pretty soon right here. The Rams wearing their road maroon uniforms with the white numbers and the white trim. The Bonnies are in their home whites with the green numbers and the green trim. Rams will be going from right to left and shooting on the east basket. Bonnies going from left to right and shooting on the west basket. Here we go. First quarter, Rams and Bonnies on this senior night, on this A10 finale. It's been a tale of 2 seasons for this Fordham team. They had a couple of great conference wins, a couple of great wins in the non-conference play, but they have struggled in conference play. But tonight, one last opportunity to get going here before the A10 conference tournament starts. It will be Emma Wilson-Saltos and Gabby Robinson for the tip. Here we go, 1:03 your local time. And off we go as the tip is controlled by Fordham. Wilson-Saltos taps it forward to Lucretia Edwards. Curran Easley's got the ball in the left wing now. Gets a Wilson-Saltos screen, loses it, now gets it back. Robinson dived to try to get it. Easley gets it out near the perimeter. Now Veljovic. Veljovic, Edwards, left wing triple. Short, no good. Rebound McDonough, back the other way. Come the Bonnies.
Didn't see a lot of three-pointers last game from Fordham. Lucretia Edwards starts off with a three-pointer but misses, something Coach B probably doesn't want to see, wants to see them work through the paint a lot.
Here's McDonough on the left wing, guarded by Easley. Now right wing over to Lacey Drake. Aaliyah Parker, the senior, 12-footer in the paint. No good. Wilson Saltos pulls down her first rebound of the game, one of the best rebounders for this Fordham team. And Alexis Black's got it up on the right wing. Black had some room for a three. Now she drives in the paint. Left-handed layup is up and good. Nice shot from Alexis Black, and that's a great sign for this Fordham team to see Alexis Black get on the board after he was held scoreless in the second half of last Wednesday's game against Davidson.
Scoreless in the second half, also had a very slow start, 0 points in that first quarter.
Lacey Drake, top of the key three, too strong. Parker gets the board, flips it up, can't finish, and Veljovic gets the rebound. So 2 stops to begin the night for Fordham, and back they come the other way. Edwards thought about a three, now dishes it underside, and Gabby Robinson knocks the ball out of bounds. It will stay with the Rams. Shot clock at 24 here.
And Max, Fordham wasting no time. Very fast going down the court. Saw them trying to move in transition, get a fast basket against the St. Bonaventure team, trying to catch them lacking.
Easily to trigger the inbound. Into Alexis Black, left corner. Or excuse me, Lucretia Edwards now. Back with the ball. Curran Easley at the top of the key. Easley, double teamed. Looking to throw it. Veljovic got it. Up near half court now. Veljovic, fancy dribbles, poked away by Parker. 7 to shoot for the Rams. Veljovic, it's Wilson Saltos in the paint, backing down Robinson. Triple team, gets it back, throws it up. Oh, nearly threw it in. Would have been an incredible play right there from Wilson Saltos, but she can't finish, and back come the Bonnies. It's Drake now. Kicks it outside. Mackenzie Pettinelli with the basketball, guarded by Veljovic. Gabby Robinson, 16-footer, no good. Wilson Saltos, her second rebound of the game already here in the first 2 minutes. And back comes Alexis Black. 2-0 Rams, 8 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Black, left-hand dribble, feed inside. Wilson Saltos up, no good, but a foul. Nice pass there from Alexis Blake, who's had a great start to this one. And Wilson Saltos will head to the free throw line.
Yeah, really low-scoring game so far throughout these first 2 minutes. St. Bonaventure struggling to get something in the basket. Fordham just trying to move too fast. Another thing I noticed from the St. Bonaventure defense is that they're double teaming whoever's got the ball. Corinne Easley has faced a lot of pressure so far throughout these first 2 minutes.
Tia Morgan and Ornella Niankin in, Anastasia Veljovic and Karen Easley out for the Rams as Wilson Saltos nails the first free throw. Now 3-0 Fordham. The 5'11 senior from the Bronx, Wilson Saltos, knocks down the second. 4-0 start for Fordham. They've played well in first quarter so far this year, Anthony, so this is par for the course. Up top now, Pettinelli. Free throw line, J is good. Nice move from Mackenzie Pettinelli there, getting to her spot and firing. And she cuts the lead in half, now 4-2 Rams, 7:40 to play here in the first.
Pettinelli's been a staple in this Bonnie's lineup since joining the program last season. Shows why she deserves to get a starting 5 spot with that easy basket.
Here's Niankin. Now Alexis Black, left wing for 3, and it's good! Alexis Black nails one from the left wing. 7-2 Fordham lead, as Black's got 5 early points in this one.
Crucial for Fordham if they can get Alexis Black going early in the game. 9 points against Davidson. They've got her at 5 already in this first quarter.
Here's Parker on the right wing. Thought about a 3, now shoots it over Niankin. No good. Wilson Saltos flies high for her 3rd rebound of the game. And back come the Rams, 7-2. 7 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Tia Morgan on the right wing. Morgan around a Wilson Saltos screen. Left-hand pound dribbles. Now Lucretia Edwards, top of the key. 2-man game with Morgan. Now Wilson Saltos against Gabby Robinson. This is a matchup to watch for the night. Wilson Saltos backing her down. Double team by Parker. Ball is on the floor. Wilson Saltos has it. Dives for it. And we've got a foul called, or no, ball just goes out of bounds off Wilson Saltos. It will go the way of St. Bonaventure. So a good defensive stop there for the Bonnies. And Wilson Saltos down on the floor for a while. She will come up now. Kayla Berry will check in for her. And a good defensive possession there for St. Bonaventure. That's what they've got to do tonight, Anthony, is get the Rams to take a while before shooting the basketball.
Yeah, Max, a whole lot of white jerseys down there. Only see one maroon jersey, and that was Wilson Saltos. Just getting absolutely smothered by this Bonnie's defense.
Here's Pettinelli bringing it up. Sophomore from Pennsylvania for the Bonnies. Now Lacey Drake with it. Gets it back, top of the key against Alexis Black. Crossover, fadeaway J. In and out, no good. And Kayla Berry just into the game, gets her first rebound of the night. Nearly fell right there for Drake, but could not get it to fall. And now here's Edwards. Edwards, another 3. This one's no good. Rebound is knocked out of bounds. It will go the way of St. Bonaventure, as it was out on Ornella Niankin.
Lucretia Edwards, someone who likes to shoot the catch and shoot threes. Important if they get her going as well. Probably one of the better shooters on this Fordham squad. So far 0 for 2 from beyond the arc, though.
Curran easily back on the floor as Alexis Black heads to the Fordham bench for her first rest of the game. Now here's Aaliyah Parker dribbling across half court. Rams employing a little bit of a press here. Parker throws it. It's tipped and stolen by Niankin, but she dribbled it out of bounds. Man, Rams nearly came up with a turnover there, but Niankin just couldn't handle the pass, and it will stay with St. Bonaventure. Refs ruled possession didn't change, though, so still 20 on the shot clock.
Now Niankin comes flying out of nowhere to make that play. Unfortunate that she's unable to keep it in bounds.
Drake to inbound on the sideline. Now up top, Elise McDonough against Easley. Easley, one of the best Rams defenders, standing at 5'5". Now Pettinelli, guarded by Edwards. It's Aaliyah Parker now. Drives inside, throws up the layup, cannot finish, but a blocking foul is called on Niankin as she tumbles in, or excuse me, Kayla Berry as she tumbles into the baseline. Parker will get 2 shots at the free throw line as we see the first St. Bonaventure substitution of the game. It will be Kylie Buckley in and Gabby Robinson out. So Parker here to the free throw line. We just saw her honored for Senior Day, Anthony. She's averaging 12 points on the year, one of these best pieces for St. Bonaventure.
Yeah, she surpassed 1,500 career points and 700 rebounds not long ago, making her just one of 27 active players nationally to achieve those numbers. And this is a good chance for St. Bonaventure to try and find themselves back in the game. They've had a slow offensive struggle so far, but if they can knock down these free throws, it could be crucial.
Well, knock them down she does. Parker gets them both, and she will check out as Ivana Jankanovich comes in for St. Bonaventure. It's Niankin, Easley, Edwards, Black, and Kayla Berry on the floor for the Rams. They've got a 7-4 lead with 5:38 to play here in the first quarter. Here's Tia Morgan now. Bonnies are double teaming a lot now to Krisha Edwards. Had a shot at 3, thought better of it, drives in the paint and finishes at the rim. Nice play right there from Lucretia Edwards. Had a 3 but took the 2 and makes it 9-4 Rams.
We're just going to say that Max chose not to go and take the 3 and actually decided to drive through the paint. She's so great at scoring, but she usually tries to go through the 3 ball, but instead knocks down the 2.
That's something I had trouble with in my playing days, Anthony. I would always shoot the 3 and never the 2, even if I'd missed 10 in a row, as Lacey Drake fades away and gets a fall away to go. Nice 12-foot fall away there from the graduate student Lacey Drake, and she makes it 9-6 Rams. Here's Easley now. Tia Morgan right wing, holding the ball high over her head. Quick pass back to Morgan now at the top of the key. Morgan thought about a 3, now fires, no good, and Drake gets the rebound. A little ill-advised there from Tia Morgan. Probably not the best look. Now here's McDonough driving inside, and she's fouled by Kayla Berry, not in the act of shooting. And we've got a timeout here. Timeout Fordham, 9-6 Rams, 4:35 to play here in the first quarter. We're going to take a quick break here, and we'll be right back with more Fordham women's basketball on WFUV Sports. And we welcome you back here to the Riley Center. First quarter action on senior night. Rams lead at 9-6, 4:35 to play here in the first quarter. Lacey Drake to inbound for St. Bonaventure. Elise McDonough now up top, Aaliyah Parker. Gives it back now to Drake. Drake working on easily at the free throw line. Now Parker, right wing. Parker up top. Jinkanovich drives on Veljovic, flips up with the left hand, cannot finish. Rebound Kylie Buckley, and she's fouled right there. Big offensive rebound by Kylie Buckley to get the Bonnies the second possession, and it results in 2 free throws.
Yeah, the junior forward does a really good job grabbing in that rebound. First time we've seen St. Bonaventure really try and get some second chance points. We've seen Fordham really come down with those rebounds, specifically at Wilson Salto, such a threat down low on the defensive glass.
Buckley hits her first from the free throw line. Bonnies are 3 of 3 from the stripe today. We've seen that be a trend throughout Fordham's games so far this year, is whoever wins the free throw battle most likely is going to end up victorious in the game. As Buckley gets them both, Bonnies now 4 of 4 from the line. 9-8, Rams lead it, 4:15 to play here in the first quarter. Karen Easley, dribble handoff on Anastasia Veljovic. Veljovic to Black. And we've got an off-ball foul. This one will go against Kylie Buckley. Rams are not in the bonus yet. They will have it at the baseline here with 4:07 in the first quarter.
Not in the bonus yet, but it's good to start getting those fouls early. You can get into the bonus early and get some more attempts at the free throw line. You mentioned it before. Whoever seems to go to the free throw line seems to win in these Fordham basketball games.
Black gets it into Easley in the left corner. Now Wilson Saltos underneath. Wilson Saltos double teamed again. This time we've got a jump ball called as Kylie Buckley over there to get it called. We've already seen 2 impact plays from Kylie Buckley in the last 2 possessions. Jump ball on this end that results in the possession arrow going in the favor of St. Bonaventure, and that offensive rebound and 2 free throws on the other end.
And once again, St. Bonaventure seems to have a game plan that is set on just double teaming whoever has the ball. Wilson Saltos just unable to even find somebody to pass the ball to on that possession.
Buckley now loses it. Body's on the floor. She gets it back, easily jumps on the ball. That will be a jump ball, and it will go in favor of Fordham. So 2 consecutive jump balls in as many possessions, and the Rams get it right back, Anthony.
And Max, we're sitting right here, right next to the Fordham bench. You see the energy after that jump ball. Coach B mentioned that she wants to keep that same energy from the senior day because they want to match the Bonnie's energy that they have on their senior day and try and see if they could spoil that senior day.
Absolutely. Got it spoiled by Davidson on Wednesday. Looking to return the favor here. 9-8 Rams, 3:30 in the first quarter. Easily around a Wilson Saltos screen. All alone. 5-foot floater is good. Karen Easley doing what she does best, getting into the paint and finishing at the rim. And the Rams are back to a 3-point advantage, 11-8.
Easy. Made it look so easy there. Just simply cut right through the middle of the St. Bonaventure defense and simply floats one in.
Parker now spinning and finishing at the cup. Aaliyah Parker doing a great job there of getting around Kayla Berry, and she gets the deficit back down to 1, 11-10 now. 3 minutes and ticking here in the opening period. Easily with the right hand. Alexis Black, deep 3-pointer. Barely hit the backboard, but she gets her own rebound on the long bounce out and then throws it away. Pass was too low for Kayla Berry to handle. Ornella Niankin and London Lilly comes back in. Lilly with her first minutes of the game. Barry and Veljovic will head to the bench here.
Alexis Black, kind of just that weird facial expression she just had on her face that, maybe that wasn't the best decision to shoot the 3 and then the pass down low. And London Lilly, her first appearance in a Fordham game since their contest against George Washington in January.
And a travel here forced by Alexis Black in the backcourt. Coach Bridgette Mitchell employing the press, and Black forces the turnover. Anthony, when I was playing, the coach would always say, when you take a shot and miss it, you got to make it up on defense, and that's exactly what Alexis Black did right there.
Well, it seems that she always makes up for what she does. She's so great all around.
Niankin underneath, and Black cannot finish at the rim. Oh, she had a bunny layup, and she smoked it. Could have given her a game-high 7 points, but it stays 11-10 Fordham as Black just couldn't finish there at the rim. Seems like maybe she was too much under the rim to have a good angle at that one, Anthony.
I think she's never seen a more free of a basket right there, maybe throwing her off a little bit. But now she's got to make it up on defense once again here, Max.
Mackenzie Pettinelli back in the game for the Bonnies across half court. Kylie Buckley, Parker cutting underneath. 12-footer, no good. Rebound St. Bonaventure, back, it's Parker again. If at first you don't succeed, try again. That's exactly what Parker does. She succeeds, and she makes it 12-11 Bonnies, their first lead of the afternoon.
Took the words right out of my mouth there, Max.
Easley now, step back three. Oh yeah, Karen Easley, what a shot. Gives the Rams the lead right back, 14-12 Fordham.
We've seen Easley drive through the paint, now we've seen her knock down a three. Could be dangerous for St. Bonaventure if they cannot contain her.
Tia Morgan at the scorer's table looking to check back in. Here's Aaliyah Parker. She was the best player for St. Bonaventure when these teams met back in January. Now she's got the basketball again. Gives it to Mackenzie Pettinelli, top of the key. Now here's Kaylee Kirstoff, first minutes of the game. Parker shoots it, no good. Rebound is tipped, blocked by Wilson Saltos. It will go out of bounds. It will stay with St. Bonaventure. Buckley had a shot there at the rim, couldn't finish. Fight for the rebound, and it will stay with St. Bonaventure as London Lily, quick stint for her, heads to the bench as Ornella Niankin returns for the Rams.
And Buckley looks at the refs there and smiles because she's looking for a foul, but ref lets it play on, seem to let some things go here.
Pettinelli up top, Drake. Drake over the long arms of Wilson Saltos, can't finish, and the 5'5" Karen Easley skies in for the board. Easley coming down the floor like a runaway freight train. Now she's stopped. Now she shoots another three. This one's no good as it grazes nothing. An air ball, and back comes St. Bonaventure. 14-12 Rams, 65 seconds to play here in the first quarter.
Heat check there for Easley. Was just going too fast down the court.
I've been there before, Anthony. I take a lot of heat checks in my playing days, which I've been saying a lot today, as I've now noticed. Here's Drake, spinning away from Morgan and hitting. Lacey Drake, beautiful move there, silky smooth offense. And she ties the game up. Football score here, even though we're in the offseason. I miss it, Anthony, I'm sure you do. 14-14, 38 seconds. Shot clock is 15 seconds ahead of the game clock. Tia Morgan thought about a three. Now underneath, Niankin, wide open layup, flips it up and in. Great job right there from Tia Morgan. Drew her defender close and found a wide open Niankin for her first points of the afternoon.
Beautiful pump fake there by Tia Morgan. Gets her defender jumping out of her shoes, and it's just a piece of cake there for Ornella Niankin just to tap that one in.
Lacey Drake with it, guarded by Alexis Black. 13 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Rams lead it by 2. Now Pettinelli with it. Up top, it's Kirstoff. Got to do something with it. 3 seconds to shoot. Pettinelli, a fadeaway three. Oh, she nearly banked it in as it hit the rims, but no avail. And that will get us to the end of the first quarter here. Very entertaining at the Riley Center. Rams lead it 16-14. We'll be right back after a quick break with more Fordham women's basketball on WFUV Sports. And we welcome you back to the Riley Center in Olean, New York. Getting ready for the second quarter of this one. Rams by 2, 16-14. And off we go. Here's Mackenzie Pettinelli. She's double teamed. Rams using what the Bonnies were doing in the last quarter, and it works as the ball is flipped up, and Easley's got it. 3-on-2 for the Rams. Veljovic underneath. Cannot finish at the rim. The second time a Fordham player has smoked a pretty easy layup. This time it will stay with Fordham as it's deflected by St. Bonaventure, but the Rams got to start finishing those, Anthony.
Yeah, but back to that Bonnie's offensive possession. I think Pettinelli just trying to force a pass to open this quarter. Wilson Saltos goes right into her. I don't think she was even expecting that ball to come firing at her.
Rams good start so far. Forced 5 turnovers in the opening period. Alexis Black lobs in. Yankin with a catch out near the perimeter. Dribble handoff, Karen Easley. Easley standing on the St. Bonnie's logo in the S. Now Alexis Black. Black against McDonough. High over her head. Shot a deep 3 earlier ago. This time she puts it on the deck and nails an 18-footer from the free throw line. Great play there from Alexis Black, learning from her mistakes. Shot the ill-advised 3 earlier. This time thought better of it, and she gets rewarded for it.
Dangerous from any point of the court is Alexis Black. Shows it right there, specifically in those elbow jumpers.
Pettinelli trapped out on the wing. It will be a kick ball called against Ornella Yankin as it deflects off her shoe. Will stay with St. Bonaventure. Shot clock at 20. 9:13 to go here in the second quarter. 18-14 Rams. McDonough dribble handoff Lacey Drake now. Drake with the left hand against Morgan. In the corner, Pettinelli wide open for 3, and she drills it. And she drills it, and on the floor in pain is somebody. I can't quite see who that is. Alexis Black on the floor. That is not what you want to see for the Rams there. Anastasia Veljovic sprinting to the scores table to check in for her. Black still on the floor.
I saw what happened there, Max. It looks like she maybe got smacked in the face and kind of fell back after getting maybe poked in the eye or something, but
just kind of got the wind taken out of her. 3 members of the coaching staff there right now to check up on her. Black is still down. Now she's helped up. Seems to be walking on her own power. Good sign right there. The 3 did count from Pettinelli. In the corner, she was wide open as Black, as you said, basically got pushed down. But the 3 will count nonetheless, making it an 18-17 game. Black will not go into the locker room. She's being checked out on the bench right now. Looking like they're checking out her cheeks with her chin, maybe something there.
yeah, something within the face, and maybe got poked or something, slapped in the face by a St. Bonaventure player. But for the Bonnies, knocked down that 3, their first of the game. Have only attempted 2 throughout that first quarter, and kind of opposite of what Fordham has done here. They've attempted 7 and only made 2. So kind of see 2 different game plans going from Fordham and St. Bonaventure. But more importantly for Fordham, Coach B does love them to work through the paint, so unsure of why they have so many 3-pointer attempts, almost as much as last game against Davidson in just this first quarter alone.
Yeah, they've knocked down 2 so far, but driving and working in the paint has seemed to work so far. Black sitting on the bench will keep you updated with anything we hear throughout the course of this one. Now Easley with the basketball for the Rams. Veljovic in the game for her. Tia Morgan on the right wing. Working inside, working on Brianna Boyd. Now up top, Easley. Inside, fading. Can't finish, came up just short. Ball is tipped. It is saved by McDonough. And Wilson Saltos gathers it on the baseline, but her foot was on the line, and it will stay. It will, go over to St. Bonaventure. So good also play from Elise McDonough there, getting St. Bonaventure an extra possession.
Corinne Easley on that shot right there, surrounded by 3 defenders. May have been better just to try and find an open woman instead.
Underneath, Boyd just into the game, had a shot but shuffled her feet underneath as Yankin came flying in. So Rams turn it over, Bonnies turn it over. 8:30 to go here in the second quarter. 18-17, Rams lead by 1 with the basketball. Karen Easley, now Tia Morgan. Rams in no hurry. Karen Easley on the left wing now. Easley around a Wilson Salto screen. Free throw line jumper. In and out, no good. Rebound taken by Kirstoff. It's knocked out of bounds by Yankin, but no harm for the Bonnies. They will get it with just 1 second dissipating off the shot clock there. Rams employing a press here in the second quarter. See them do that a lot this season, Anthony. and working on it here in their final game before Richmond next Wednesday. Here's Drake. Free throw line J is good. Lacey Drake knocks it down. One of the premier shooters in the A-10. Gets a bucket right there and gives St. Bonaventure the lead.
Lacey Drake just proving why she's the 8th best scorer in the A-10.
Here's Nienken driving and finishing at the cup. Nice play right there from Ornella Nienken. Just no regard right there. Just went to the paint and finished at the rim. There's Drake as Wilson Santos goes tumbling into the sideline. It's top of the key three. It's no good. Boyd with the rebound, working underneath. The ball is tipped away and taken away by the Rams. And back they come with Tia Morgan.
Ornella Nienken right there for Fordham, able to take it away.
Morgan threw it, was deflected, easily had it, poked out of bounds. It will stay with the Rams here. Lucretia Edwards in, and a great side for the Rams. Alexis Black coming back into the game just a minute and a half after going down with that scary fall. Veljovic and Morgan head to the sideline, Anthony.
And Ornella Nienken staying on here for Fordham. Was going to mention her just a couple of minutes ago. Was second on this team against Davidson in terms of scoring, had 10 points. Really good game for her. And she could be such a threat down low for this Fordham offense if they can have her just going. Have not seen, it's been kind of inconsistent throughout this whole season, but as March approaches, she's starting to heat up.
Kayla Berry also back in. Now Karen Easley with the basketball. Top of the key. Drives Alexis Black. Shoots a three and drills it. Alexis Black just back into the game after taking that scary fall is no worse for wear. And she's up to 10 points on the night, game's leading scorer.
Alexis Black, big smile on her face after knocking down that three-pointer. Comes out after the injury and just not phased at all.
Drake to a cutting Parker who finishes at the cup. Lacey Drake drilled a two-pointer, the possession to go, and now she finds Parker for a cutting deuce. Back and forth we go. Rams lead it by 2 here. 23-21, 6:37 and counting to play in the second quarter. Here's Black on the right wing. Thought about the three, now dishes underside. Nienken, fade away. No good. Rebounds taken up by Drake. Drake with 6 points on the evening to lead the bodies. Drives past Black in the paint. It's tipped away and taken away by Kayla Berry. Beautiful defensive work by Kayla Berry as she tumbles into the sideline. But here come the Rams. They've got a 4-on-5. Black will wait for Berry to get back. Now she fires a three. This one, no good. Almost bounced off the back rim and in. Black going for a heat check there like Easley did in the first quarter. Cannot convert. Here's the Bonnies back with it now. Drake with the basketball. Cross court, Aaliyah Parker. Parker working on the Nienken. A battle of the number 5s as Lucretia Edwards strips it away and steals it for the Rams. And here they go. Alexis Black looking over to Coach Mitchell to get the play call. Ball is tipped away as Black was not paying attention there. Now she gets it back and gives it to Karen Easley. Karen Easley with it now. Lucretia Edwards on a dribble handoff. Edwards directing traffic. 8 to shoot. Black with it now. Left wing. Guarded by Jukanovic. Black with 3 to shoot. Got to do something. It's Lucretia Edwards. Has to throw it up. Easily gets it away. And no, she doesn't. Shot clock violation is being called. Easily did not get it away in time. She missed the layup anyway, but just too late there for Fordham, Anthony.
Too late, and it's too bad for Fordham. Easily wide open underneath the basket. No one was near her. She had the easiest basket of her life, most likely. Would have added now to a 4-point lead.
Been a trend here so far for Fordham. 3 easy layups. They have not been able to make any of them. You know what they say, Anthony? The hardest shot in basketball is a wide open layup. You're in your head too much. Here's Parker. Parker against Black. Pettinelli a 3. She hit one earlier and she does it again. Mackenzie Pettinelli from the left wing gives the Bonnies the lead back. 24-23 with 5 minutes to play in the first half.
Back and forth game between these two teams. The 3-ball has been effective in this second quarter for the Bonnies. Saw Lacey Drake knock one down, and now Pettinelli with 2.
Here's Black. Now Edwards. Edwards with it. Black up top, left wing. She'll try another 3. This one's no good. Hits the top of the backboard. Will stay in play. It's tipped away. It's controlled by the Bonnies. Here's Aaliyah Parker. Left to right the Bonnies go in their white uniforms with the green trim. Parker with the right hand. Cannot finish. Ball is tipped up. It's knocked around. St. Bonaventure with the offensive rebound. And Gabby Robinson tried to find Aaliyah Parker there in the corner. I think she was still coming to her senses. Ball goes out of bounds. It will go to the Fordham Rams. As we come to a break here, we will take a very quick break here on WFUV Sports. You're listening to Fordham Women's Basketball. And we welcome you back here to the Riley Center in Olean, New York. Anthony, very historic alumni for the Bonnies here as we look up into the rafters. Most notably, Bob Lanier, part of the NBA's top 75, played a lot of great years in the association. But one fun story that my grandpa told me as I was going to St. Bonaventure is we look up there, you see number 22, Sam Stith, and number 42, Tom Stith. They played here in the 1960-61 NBA season and averaged 52 points a game. And Tom Stith was selected second in the 1961 overall draft by our hometown New York Knicks, at least where I'm going to college right now, whereas Sam Stith ended up being drafted in 1963 and played in the EYBL for many years, actually won a championship in 63 with the Cincinnati Royals. Great story right there. I wonder why they aren't mentioned as much when we talk about the NBA's best brother duos of all time.
Absolutely, Max, and shout out to your grandpa. I mean, giving us that historical story to tell. I mean, you told me about it, and I was really shocked. And you actually got Coach Andre Jerko, associate coach of Fordham, shocked as well, and got into a little conversation there about some of the history of basketball.
Well, Rams looking to make some more history this season. It starts here in St. Bonaventure as we're back underway in the first half. Bonnies lead it by 1, 24-23, 4:15 to play in this first half. Here's Omashala in the game for her first minutes of the afternoon. Karen Easley now has had the ball a lot for the Rams. Out on the wing, it's Lucretia Edwards. And we have got a 3-second violation against the Rams. Looked like Tia Morgan spent too long in the paint. So an unforced error there from the Rams, and they'll turn it back over to the Bonnies. That can't happen if you're Fordham, Anthony.
And coming out of the break for Fordham, Mason Hill getting her first minutes of the game. Precious Omashola, who was just in before the break, has got some more minutes here. She didn't play at all against Davidson.
Parker against Veljovic. These two have been going at it all afternoon, and Parker this time is fouled. Veljovic got her on the arms, and Parker will head to the free throw line to try to continue the Bonnies' perfect afternoon at the charity stripe for 2 shots. Aaliyah Parker from Cheektowaga, New York. She went to Niagara before spending her first year at St. Bonaventure this season. As Emma Wilson-Saltos returns for the Rams, so does Alexis Black as they look to add some scoring.
In a game like this, it's important to have your best players out there, especially in such a back-and-forth game. We've seen the lead going back and forth between St. Bonaventure and Fordham. Bonnie's finally back in the lead.
Parker hits the free throw. Bonnie's now 5 of 5 from the stripe. And Parker up to 9 points on the day. She leads St. Bonaventure's, trails the game's leading scorer, Alexis Black, by only 1. And now she ties her as she knocks down the second free throw. So 10 points for Aaliyah Parker on her senior night. Makes it 26-23 Bonnies. 3:45 here in the second quarter. Karen Easley back for the Rams. She is guarded by Jankanovich. Now Tia Morgan. Lucretia Edwards wants the basketball. It goes out. Karen Easley for 3. Off the back rim, no good. Ball on the floor. We've got a foul call. This one will go against St. Bonaventure and Gabby Robinson. Not in the act of shooting. Only the first team foul of this quarter for St. Bonaventure, so Rams will have it at the baseline.
Yeah, Max, if we're playing football, that's a 10-yard penalty. Very clear penalty right there. Ellen Wilson-Saltos had one hand to work with as she was trying to reach for that ball.
Alexis Black to inbound, gets it up top. Here Mason Hill with the basketball. Her first minutes of the game. Tia Morgan now steps back, thought about a 3, now gives it to Black at the top of the key. 10 to shoot for the Rams. Here's Black, working on Gabby Robinson. Tough shot. In and out, no good. Rebound taken by Pettinelli, and back come the Bonnies. They lead by 3 with the basketball. It's Parker now. McDonough driving on Easley, underneath. Robinson, great ball movement from St. Bonaventure on this possession. Parker driving on Wilson-Saltos. Ball is tipped, it will go out of bounds, it will stay with St. Bonaventure. Nice deflection from Emma Wilson. Oh, excuse me, no, that one is out on the Bonnies, so it will go for the basketball. My point still stands. Great deflection there from Emma Wilson-Saltos. She's been all over the place on the defensive end so far, Anthony.
And that's just Emma Wilson-Saltos' game. She's everywhere on the defensive glass, offensive glass, hitting the deck to try and grab a loose ball. She's going to give you 110% every game.
And now she whips one into the third row behind the basket, trying to find Mason Hill underneath. Hill wasn't ready for it. And a timeout here from Coach Mitchell. She is not happy with that turnover there as the Rams have gotten sloppy recently. Got to keep it here for this one. 2:48 to play here in the first half, 26-23 Rams. And Anthony, I'm curious on your thoughts on this. Rams, as you mentioned a couple minutes ago, are playing all of their best players, but as you approach March and potentially 5 games in a row, if they do advance that far, how much are you worried about keeping your best players healthy in this one so far?
Well, I know they dealt with a lot of major health concerns throughout the year, but the thing with this Fordham team is that they have a really strong bench, one of the best benches in the A10 in the nation as well. Always seems like the bench is providing a decent amount of points in every game. And Coach B loves to play the bench, loves to spread the rock, loves to get different players in the rotation. But I think going forward, you're obviously going to lead Alexis Black, but you just try and get some of those other players like Tia Morgan, Edwards, and Easley, just try and, spread out those minutes.
Great opportunity for the Rams here with Lacey Drake on the bench for St. Bonaventure. Back underway here at the Riley Center. Aliyah Parker driving inside, finishes, and the foul from the Yankin. Aliyah Parker with 12 on the night, and she can make it 13 if she converts the three-point play.
Well, that's going to put St. Bonaventure on a 9-0 run now. Chance to make it a 10-0 run. Fordham has been scoreless for the last 4.5 minutes.
Mason Hill back in the game. So is Lucretia Edwards, Curran Easley, and Ornella Niankin underneath. Rams going to need some other players to contribute here. Alexis Black, nearly half the points for the Rams so far on the evening. Karen Easley doing it as well, but looking to get some more offense from the rest of their squad. As Parker hits the free throw, bodies remain perfect from the stripe, and they take their biggest lead of the game. 6 points, 29-23 now. 2.5 to play in the first half. Here's Curran Easley to Lucretia Edwards, now swinging on the left wing to Alexis Black. Black against Jankanovich. Jankanovich is their jack of all trades. She can do it all. Here's Easley driving inside. Lucretia Edwards, catch and shoot three. No good. Ball is knocked about. It is going to be out of bounds and will stay with the Rams. Good hustle there from Mason Hill on the sideline to secure another possession for the Rams with 20 on the shot clock here, Anthony.
Lucretia Edwards now 0 for 3 from beyond the arc, something that has been thrown up in the air throughout this past couple of weeks. She was on a hot stretch at one point, but now struggling to try and find that three ball. Edwards
triggers it into Easley. Now back to Easley. Now over to Alexis Black. Black around into Yankin screen. Driving on Gabby Robinson. Robinson falls down and an offensive foul is called. Call on Alexis Black, pushing off there. I'm not sure about that one, Anthony, and I don't think Bridgette Mitchell is either.
Yeah, nothing going the way for Fordham right now with these 2 minutes left in this second quarter. 10-0 run for the Bonnies. Fordham has just been scoreless for these last 5 minutes now.
We mentioned earlier how the first quarter has treated the Rams well so far this year. The second quarter has not. They trail by 6, 1:50 to play here in the first half. McDonough, Pettinelli, right wing. Weaving her way into the paint, ball is deflected. Pettinelli chases it back out to the perimeter. Now driving, fading away from Niankin. Free throw line, in and out, no good. Touched every part of the rim, but didn't fall and easily comes away with it. Alexis Black, back comes Fordham. They want to go quick, and Alexis Black throws it away. God, you just can't do that right there after Alexis Black. She's been so great all afternoon with 10 points, but on back-to-back possessions, she's called for the offensive foul, and then another careless turnover for Fordham.
Well, she had the right idea in trying to get the pass down low to Ornella Niankin on the left block, but it was just too far of a pass, just out of reach for Ornella Niankin, and Fordham just cannot find a basket.
Rams have turned it over 9 times, 7 of those coming in the second quarter. Parker driving inside, triple team, throws it up, no good, but a foul is called. Gosh, if you're Niankin there, you got to keep your arms straight, knowing that your defense is behind you, but she will send Parker back to the stripe where she's been perfect so far today. As Veljovic comes in, Lucretia Edwards out for the Rams. As Parker, more free throws here to try to extend this St. Bonaventure lead.
Seems like Parker's living at the free throw line right now, always getting back to the charity stripe, and Ornella Niankin looked a little surprised with the call, but I mean, I heard the slap from here. Very obvious call there. I think the ref just let it play out to see if Parker can knock down that basket. But
Parker hits the first, 30-23 St. Bonaventure, and she gets the second one as well. Leah Parker, 7 of 7 from the free throw line so far. We mentioned earlier how free throws can be a big tale of the story, and there's another turnover from Fordham. Abysmal. Karen Easley threw it. Mason Hill just couldn't grip the basketball. That's 3 straight turnovers for the Rams. and they are losing their grip on this one quickly.
Yeah, we've seen the second quarter throughout this year. Been a struggle for the Fordham Rams. Last time these two teams played in January, Fordham was outscored 22-8 in the second quarter.
Rams could really use a stop right here. It's Lacey Drake back in the ball game to Aaliyah Parker. Parker spinning on Veljovic. Fade away, up and through. Aaliyah Parker taking over. She's got 15 so far in this one to lead all scores, and the Bonnies have a double-digit lead, 33-23.
Well, we mentioned how nothing was falling for Fordham, everything falling for St. Bonaventure in this one.
Easley, Euro step inside. Yankin is fouled by Patnelli. Gives the Rams a second to catch their breath here. It felt like just a minute ago this was a back-and-forth game. You look up at the scoreboard now with 36 seconds to play in the first half, and the Rams trail by 10, Anthony.
That's just the second quarter story for this Fordham team throughout this whole season. That's been one of their worst periods of the year, but the question is now, how does it go into the second half? Can Fordham recover?
Black to trigger the inbound. Rams could go for 2 for 1 here. They opt for a final shot now. Black with a Veljovic screen. Rams with 12 to shoot now. Alexis Black directing traffic. Goes around to the Yankin screen. Now gives it Lucretia Edwards. Corner 3. Too strong, and back comes St. Bonaventure. 17 to shoot. They're in no hurry as Parker brings it across the timeline slowly. Bonnie's going from left to right here. 10 seconds to play in the first half. Lacey Drake out near half court. Crossover on Veljovic. Left hand, floater. She got it, but an offensive foul is called, pushing off on Veljovic. So what we saw Alexis Black do to Gabby Robinson just a minute ago is called right there as Lacey Drake puts up on Veljovic. That's all you want from the refs, Anthony, is consistency, and the Rams get it back now.
Fordham catches a huge break there. Would have been a 12-point lead going into halftime. Chance for Fordham to at least get a last basket here.
3.4 to go. Here's Alexis Black at half court. Throws it up. It's deflected by Jankanovic, and that will end the first half. After what was a very encouraging first quarter for the Rams, they do not perform well here in the second quarter as both teams head off to the locker rooms. It's the Bonnies 33 and the Rams 23.
And Max, that last basket attempt, I should rather say, from Alexis Black kind of describes how the second quarter went. Just nothing going their way. Alexis Black just tried to throw off that shot, and it went nowhere near the basket. Fordham has been scoreless for the last 7 minutes. The St. Bonaventure Bonnies on a 14-0 run. And this Fordham team has struggled in the second quarter. Only 7 points. That's even lower than the amount they had in the second quarter with 8 against St. Bonaventure back in January.
Yeah, you just can't have that, Anthony. We say that basketball is a game of runs, and we understand, and everyone on the court understands that teams are going to punch and teams are going to punch back, but 7 minutes is just way too long of a time not to score the basketball. You just let the other team take so much of the momentum, and the Bonnies are feeling good here heading into the locker room as they are 20 minutes away from clinching a first-round bye for the A10 tournament next week. We are going to take a break here. It's halftime at the Riley Center. You've been listening to Fordham Women's Basketball on WFUV Sports. And we welcome you back inside the Riley Center here in Olean, New York, home of the St. Bonaventure Bonnies. And it's certainly been home for them so far, especially in that second quarter. They turned a 2-point deficit into a 10-point lead, and they lead it 33-23. Here at halftime, Anthony, the Rams have not scored in 7 minutes and 9 seconds. That's something that's got to change here in this third quarter, and it's got to change quick.
Yeah, we saw in that last matchup between Fordham and St. Bonaventure, they started off to a slow start in the third quarter and had a big fourth quarter that ended up giving them the comeback victory. I think yes, that did work out, but I think in this game, this is a much different St. Bonaventure team. They're going to improve. They're going to learn from their mistakes. And I think this Fordham team has to jump off to a fast start in order to come out with a victory here today.
Yeah, we talked to Coach Mitchell before the game, and she told us that, and you heard in the interview that this team is a lot different, talking about St. Bonaventure, than when the Rams played them, whatever it was 5 weeks ago now. They've improved a lot, and you've seen it so far on display here so far. Aliyah Parker with 17 first-half points, really great. You've also seen Mackenzie Pettinelli knocked out a couple of threes. Lacey Drake doing it all on the offensive end. But the key for the Rams so far in the second half, Anthony, has got to be to slow down Aliyah Parker and just make anybody else beat them, right?
Yeah, this St. Bonaventure team has been really aggressive offensively, something that Jim Crowley said in their last game against Fordham that they needed to improve on. He said he was very disappointed in their aggressiveness, and they were just tentative and made a lot of bad decisions against Fordham. And it's kind of the opposite of what happened last game with them in George Washington. They were outscored 17-4 by the Revolutionaries in the last 5:30 of the third quarter. This time, you're not really seeing a lot of scoring droughts in this Bonnie's team. They've really just been scoring at every level so far throughout this whole game. Last game, they just dug themselves into too much of a hole, and they didn't really execute as well as GW. But today, specifically in that second quarter, St. Bonaventure is really executing well enough on the offense and doing a great job on the defensive side of the ball, where Fordham is not executing their game plan, and instead they're taking a lot of three-pointers. Fordham, 23% from beyond the arc, have not really worked through the paint as much as Coach B would probably like them to.
Yeah, we saw them there towards the end of the first half as well, Anthony, as teams are coming out on the floor to get ready for the second half of play, make a lot of careless turnovers. And when you're not making your shots on the offensive end, the last thing you can afford to do is give away opportunities. So Rams are going to need to have a quick start here. They will go with Yankin, Easley, Black, Wilson, Saltos, and Tia Morgan here to start the second half. They trail by 10. Here's Karen Easley with the ball. Against Elise McDonough, throws it over to Tia Morgan at the top of the key. Morgan over to Alexis Black. Black going backwards now out near half court, now drives. Nearly double dribbled, wasn't called. Now Morgan over in the corner, driving baseline, reverse layup, cannot finish. Tough shot from Tia Morgan there, but could not get it to fall, and back come the Bonnies, an empty first possession for Fordham. Drake working her way inside, tosses it back up top to Pettinelli. Pettinelli in triple threat stance now gives it over to Drake. Drake, now McDonough, back up top to Drake. Gabby Robinson now in the corner, 10 to shoot for the Bonnies. Gabby Robinson, 14-footer is good. Number 14 knocks down a 14-footer, and the Bonnies extend their lead. They lead at 35-23 now with 9 minutes to play in the second half.
Just not the likely start that Fordham was hoping for. Both defenses really played tight on both sides, and it was just St. Bonaventure able to knock down the basket.
Black jumper is too strong, and the rebound to St. Bonaventure. They lead by 12 with the basketball, 8:45 to play here in the third quarter. McDonough against Morgan. McDonough between her legs, now Gabby Robinson. Hit a shot just a moment ago, now goes to Pettinelli. Pettinelli working on the Yankin. Lacey Drake off a curl, hits it. Beautiful offense right there from the Bonnies. Rams never had a chance, looked out of sorts and chasing the play on that defensive possession. Lacey Drake makes some pay. She's up to 8 points on the afternoon.
Lacey Drake now extended to a 16-0 run, or 18-0 run rather, for St. Bonaventure.
Tia Morgan, free throw line jumper. No good. Wide open, just couldn't hit it. Luckily for the Rams, Ornella Yankin with the rebound, but she can't finish either. And Lacey Drake pulls down the boards. Veljevic and Obashala at the scorer's table ready to check in for the Rams. Here's Aliyah Parker. She had 17 first half points. Working on Drake. Now Gabby Robinson. Jumper, no good. Rebound Lacey Drake, and she puts it up and in. Oh, Emma Wilson-Saltos had her boxed out, but backed away at the wrong moment. Lacey Drake got the rebound and a buddy layup to put this St. Bonaventure lead up to 16.
Fordham has had the looks, just have not been able to capitalize on those opportunities. St. Bonaventure has gotten a lot of second chance opportunities, and they're the ones who are capitalizing and scoring the points.
Here's Easley now. Swing it. Morgan, Black for three. No good. Gets the long rebound. Inside. Triple team. Wilson-Saltos underneath. Fancy footwork. Tries to bank it in. Cannot. Parker comes away with the rebound. Rams have not scored now in 10 minutes. The length of a quarter. This has got to be one of, if not their longest scoring droughts of the year. Gabby Robinson underneath. Cannot finish, but she's fouled by Wilson-Saltos. And the 5 Rams out here on the floor. It's heads down, low energy. Not what you want to see here for Fordham, Anthony.
And for Fordham, the Emma Wilson Santos position right there, triple teamed and try to get a shot off. They were open players throughout the court, and that's just what Fordham has done. They've tried to take the tough shots and have not tried to pass it out and look for better basket opportunities.
Yeah, and I think, Anthony, especially when you're on a scoring drought as much as this one, you want to try to get it back. You just want to try to do it yourself. You have a shot, you take it, especially with these turnovers. But you got to look for a good look. As Gabby Robinson knocks out her free throw, that's been another storyline so far. St. Bonaventure, they've shot more free throws from Fordham, and they're perfect. They are 10 of 10 from the foul line. And Gabby Robinson makes it 11 for 11. 41-23 Rams. The Rams led it 23-21. They are on a 20-0 run, the Bonnies are. Wow. Rams desperately need a bucket here. Veljovic working on Pettinelli. Veljovic steps back. Underneath, Kayla Berry cannot finish. Gets her own rebound. Now double teamed. It's a jump ball possession arrow in favor of St. Bonaventure, and it will go over to them. So coming up now on 11 minutes where the Rams have not scored. This drought has to end with the next 2 possessions if the Rams have any chance of coming back here today, Anthony.
And you've just seen this Fordham team silent throughout this third quarter and the end of that second quarter. The energy just not matching what it was on Wednesday night down in the Bronx.
Yeah, that's another thing. First quarter they were talking. Now floor is silent like you mentioned. Gabby Robinson cannot finish. Ball is tipped on the baseline. It will go to Fordham as Jankanovich could not control it there in the coffin's corner, as I like to call it.
It may seem as simple as just getting the ball to go your way, but Fordham desperately needs those possessions in any way they can get.
And we've got a challenge here. Head coach, 19th season for the Bonnies, Jim Crowley, challenging the out-of-bounds call against Fordham in the corner there with Veljovic. So,
yeah, Jim Crowley, 3-time Atlantic 10 Coach of the Year, just doesn't really agree with that call. Interesting story with him. I mean, he coached the Bonnies from 2000 to 2016 and then went to Providence for a short stint of 7 years. And then after that, it didn't really work out. Comes back to St. Bonaventure. He's in his 3rd year of that stint. And in these 3 years, 25 and 64 overall. Finished 6-24 last season. It's been a huge turnaround for this Bonnies team. They were projected to finish last in the A10. And they're on the verge of getting a first-round bye in the Atlantic 10 tournament. Huge turnaround for Crowley and his squad. And just trying to end off the regular season with a W against a Fordham team that they have not beat since 2016.
Yeah, absolutely, Anthony. Fordham has not lost this team in 10 years. They are in massive danger of that streak coming to an end right now. And you mentioned with Crowley, great example, I think, of one of my favorite sayings is that the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Goes to Providence, comes back, going to go into his 20th year next year, and he's led the Bonnies to 5 appearances in the NCAA tournament over his 2nd stint here as the head coach of the Bonnies. Got a contest going on right now. I've always wanted to do one of these, quarter or halftime contests, Anthony, but I feel like the risk is greater than the reward. Maybe it's a gift card, maybe it's a hat that you win, but if you don't do well, you risk making a fool of yourself on national television.
And this is the first time that I've seen this half-court game. So you have 2 kids here lined up on one side, and then you have a jersey around the free throw line. You have the shorts at the midcourt line, and then you have the shoes at the other free throw line. And then after they put all 3 of those on, you have to make a basket. And these kids, I don't know, probably around like 6 to 7 years old, I would say,
6, 7. All right,
have a really oversized jersey and oversized shorts, and the shoes are incredibly oversized. And it's just incredibly funny to see because they're just like picking up the pants, trying to avoid it falling. The shoes are like clown shoes, and it's such an interesting game, but it's such a great idea because it just provides such funny content. But that's the first time I've ever seen something like that.
Yeah, forget swimming, or forget basketball. They're basically swimming in those pants, Anthony. That's how big they are. I always think of halftime contests. I always think of one of my favorite sports movies, Thunderstruck. Great movie with Kevin Durant. They have a very memorable halftime contest in there. If you have not seen it, great activity to do after the finish of this one.
And Fordham's going to win the challenge coming back into the break. Mentioned it right before that break that Fordham desperately needed to get this offensive possession. I know it's just a random offensive possession, but Fordham needs a basket sooner rather than later. I mean, a 22-0 run throughout this second quarter and third quarter. You've been scoreless for the last 10 minutes. I mean, you need anything to go your way if it's as simple as an offensive possession.
Absolutely. Easily Veljovic, Black, Edwards, and Berry on the floor for the Rams. Veljovic up top now, 25 feet away from the basket. Tries to throw it underneath to Caleb Berry, and it's taken away by McDonough. Now Jankanovic driving on Black. Ball is deflected out of bounds. It will go over to Fordham. Maybe a bit of a generous call right there with the Rams trailing by 18. But you mentioned it, Anthony. Coming up now on 12 minutes without a basket, a 22-0 run for the Bonnies. Forget this game at all. This is not the way you want to head into March and Richmond next week.
They're going to be on the opposite. I don't know if there's a word for the opposite of momentum. Probably cold as ice.
Veljovic knocks down a three and finally breaks the drought for the Rams off a feed from Black. Veljovic knocks it down, so 41-26 for them as they get their first basket in nearly 11 and a half minutes. They trail by 15. Now McDonough working on Kaylee Berry. Spinning, finds Jankanovic on the perimeter. Up top, Pettinelli. Pettinelli with Easley on her. Now McDonough, 7 to shoot for the Bonnies. Pettinelli, now Drake. Drake, spin, fall away over Black is pure. Lacey Drake, beautiful play right there. And just when it felt like Fordham could have put something together, Lacey Drake gets a bucket to push the lead back up to 17. Black up top. Veljovic, she hit one a moment ago. This one is too strong from three-point range, and the rebound is taken by Drake. Here come the Bonnies now. They do not have numbers, but Gabby Robinson, nobody stopped the ball, and Robinson goes in and crashes a foul. Wow, St. Bonaventure didn't have the lead there, but Fordham simply didn't rotate over to stop the streaking Robinson, who got an open layup until she was hounded right there at the rim.
Yeah, and I think Veljovic might have heard me when I said cold as ice, because then that's when she decided to knock down the three-pointer, but this Fordham team seemed like they had something with Anastasi Veljovic knocking down that three. I mean, 15% from beyond the arc is Veljovic. So it just shows that anybody can start an offensive rhythm.
Robinson finally misses a free throw. First free throw miss of the day for St. Bonaventure. Fordham's going to need a lot more misses to get back into this one. And Robinson splits the pair. She knocks down the second free throw. 44-26 St. Bonaventure. 5 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Current Easley, Alexis Black. Black in the corner, thought about a triple, now drives it back outside, flips it to Easley. Easley with the right hand, driving into the paint, and an offensive foul. Push off, Karen Easley. We've seen that called a number of times today, pushing Mackenzie Pettinelli back towards the basket. It will be an offensive foul and yet another turnover for the Rams, which will lead us into a timeout here. Timeout, media timeout with 4:52 to go here in the third quarter. Rams trail 44-26. We'll be right back with more Fordham women's basketball on WFUV Sports. And we welcome you back here to the Riley Center in Olean, New York, where St. Bonaventure, coming off of a 12-point advantage in the second quarter, has only widened it here in the third quarter. They lead by 18 right now, 44-26 with 4:52 remaining here in the third quarter. Anthony, you mentioned that basically the opposite of momentum, what the Rams are going into March with. Often thinking about when you talk about a baseball team, you know, sometimes because it's the playoffs, you want to be hot going into October. Well, the Rams are the opposite of that. They are not playing their best basketball going into March. And regardless of how this one finishes, they've got 15 minutes to put together some better offensive and defensive possessions here. Back underway, Lucretia Edwards deflects it, but the Bonaventures will have it, and Aliyah Parker crashes in to Alexis Black right there, taking the charge. It will be a turnover. And Fordham will get the ball back. So good start on the defensive end right there for the Rams.
And Max, although this Fordham team has come in with only 2 conference wins on the season, they've come in liking the games that they've played, especially against Davidson. But now this game, if they don't come out with a win here, is really just gonna have themselves just, you know, thinking about it at night. Just that you had some sort of momentum in a good game against Davidson, one of the better teams in the A10. Then you come in, a St. Bonaventure team you beat a month ago, and then you're just struggling to find offense.
Easily tried to find Nienken underneath. Ball was deflected. Rams will have it at the baseline with 16 to shoot. Now Nienken at the top of the key. Dribble handoff Alexis Black. She fires a triple and knocks it down. Alexis Black from the perimeter. Rams have hit 2 threes in the last couple of minutes. And the lead's back to 15, 44-29, 4:15 to play. And now Anastasia Veljevic comes up with a steal on the defensive end. Rams looking to push. Veljevic over to Curran Easley. Easley picks it up off the deck. Now on the right wing. Driving on Kylie Buckley. Easley working underneath. Lucretia Edwards for 3, and she knocks it down. Lucretia Edwards and Alexis Black go back-to-back from 3-point range. And the Rams, who looked dead in the water a minute ago, now trail by only 12.
Don't let him get hot, Max. Don't let him get hot.
Shinkanovich now. Momentum arrow swinging, but oh, Lacey Drake drives and she blows the bunny layup. The Rams, who missed so many of those, get a gift from St. Bonaventure. That was the easiest shot Lacey Drake may ever have in her entire life, and she comes up short. Ball was deflected. It will stay with the bodies, but what a gift right there for Fordham, Anthony.
Maybe you see a little switch here between Fordham and St. Bonaventure. You see St. Bonaventure miss those opportunities, and Fordham start thriving on those offensive opportunities that they're gifted.
Rams on a 6-0 run, and we've got a foul before the basketball was inbounded there by Curran Easley.
But an improved couple minutes here from Fordham. You'll see Alexis Black knock down the 3 from straight away. That's a spot that she specifically likes to shoot the 3-ball, and Lucretia Edwards gets involved with the triple. Had not made one all game, finally gets into the conversation now. And an Anastasia Veljevic making a great steal there, looking like OBJ grabbing that ball one-handed as she's streaking across the court. Fordham seeing if they can at least thrive on these opportunities and these last minute and a half that they've put some points on the board.
Drake tries to catch underneath. It's deflected. Easily comes away with the steal, and Buckley fouls her in transition. So Rams will have it. They trail by 12 with the basketball, 3:35 to go. I'll bet you anything we'll see a heat check here, Anthony. What do you think?
Definitely could see one, but Fordham really just trying to attempt the 3-ball here, trying to get back to a single-digit lead. That's what you're just kind of just ticking away at the lead.
Easley deflected over to Veljevic. Now Easley's got it back up top. Thought about the 3. Now gives it. Edwards also thought about the 3. Now working on Buckley. Dribble handoff Veljevic. 8 to shoot for the Rams. Underneath, Edwards wide open for 3. Oh, yeah! Lucretia Edwards makes it 3 trays in a row for the Rams. And just like that, it's a 9-point game.
Saw the Fordham bench come alive. Everyone's standing on their feet after that attempt.
McDonough, the answer for St. Bonaventure. Elise McDonough stops the bleeding with a right wing triple, and it's back to 12. 47-35. Bonnies lead it now. 2:45 to play here in this third quarter. Here's Lucretia Edwards. 3 in a row. This one's too short from downtown, but Veljevic gets the board. Back to Edwards. Now a 4-footer. In and out, no good. Touched every part of the cylinder, but did not fall. Ball was deflected. It will stay with Fordham. Wow, great action here as the Rams seem to have gotten their mojo back, Anthony.
Yeah, the energy is here within this Fordham Rams squad. The bench is coming alive. Lucretia Edwards is shooting up threes whenever she possibly can. That was a huge check, but the ability to at least get the rebound back and put up that second shot. And it doesn't hurt Fordham because they still have an offensive possession here, but they have to capitalize.
Alexis Black, step back three. No good. Air ball goes out of bounds. We'll go over to St. Bonnie's. Looked like Alexis Black had a three right there at the top of the key, but she wasn't sure, hesitated, and then decided to pull it. But by the time she did, Elise McDonough had already closed out.
And it almost looked like that ball might have been tipped on the way. I don't know if that was a true air ball from Alexis Black, but I assumed it was going to be a foul, but Alexis Black's no facial reaction that maybe there wasn't a call.
Patnelli, Parker at the three-point line, now with the right hand. Bounces inside. Patnelli, a fadeaway. No good. Black comes away with the board. Here comes the Rams. It's Anastasia Veljevic against two defenders streaking to the rim, but she cannot finish. And Drake comes away with the basketball. Ball on the floor. Drake gives it away. Stares down Karen Easley on the floor and goes back the other way for St. Bonaventure. And now Parker crashes in, and a blocking foul is called right there. Bridgette Mitchell irate on the sidelines, and it looked like Ornella Yankin might have had her feet set, but her complaining is to no avail. And it will be free throws for Elia Parker as the bodies are in the bonus. Mason Hill in, Anastasia Veljevic out for the Rams, who trail by 12 with a minute 49 here to go in the third quarter.
A lot of physical contact right these past couple minutes. You see Alexis Black getting knocked down to the ground. See Lacey Drake just staring at two Fordham defenders while she has the basketball.
Drake again, straight cash from the free throw line. She's got 10 points on the evening, all from the free throw line, 18 points in total. She'll try to make it 19, and she does. 49-35, technically a football score, though we don't see it that often. Here's Alexis Black now on the right wing, looking for a screen from Yankin, goes around it, now gets the basketball back. Up top, Curran Easley. Now Alexis Black with it again. Black with the left-hand dribbles, directing traffic. Easley swinging on the wing. Lucretia Edwards fall away is good. Lucretia Edwards knocks it down. She's got the last 8 points for Fordham, and she's keeping them in this ball game. They trail by 12, and now Elia Parker throws it into the scorer's table, looking to find Patnelli. The pass was too high, and the Rams will get it back with a chance to cut this deficit even more here.
And Lucretia Edwards coming alive here for Fordham at a perfect time, knocking down triples and being a threat inside the paint as well.
Easily now in the corner, finds Alexis Black up top. Black holding the basketball high over her heads. Gets a screen from Yankin, now back to Easley. Easley, a right wing triple is good! Karen Easley knocks it down, and the Rams get the deficit back to 9, 49-40.
Raining triples here in this third quarter down in St. Bonaventure.
Patnelli double team, ball is loose. Rams come up with it. It's Lucretia Edwards again. Alexis Black ahead of the pack. Drives, Euro step, cannot finish, but a foul. Alexis Black crashing in to Elise McDonough there, and she will head to the free throw line, and just like that, she can cut the lead to 7 here for the Rams. It just like that. Rams right back in this ball game, Anthony.
A 5-0 run for Fordham as they try and continue the run and do the opposite of what just happened a quarter ago in the beginning of this third quarter. A game of runs in basketball, especially between these two teams, which is really funny. I mean, down in the Bronx, it was St. Bonaventure on a run, then Fordham on a run to win the game, and now you're sort of seeing a similar game here with St. Bonaventure on the run throughout that middle part of the game, and Fordham late in the game coming alive once more.
Alexis Black at the free throw line. Rams trail by 9 with 42.4 here in the third quarter. And Black nails the first, cutting the lead down to 8. It's kind of been a trend for Alexis Black over the last couple of games to get off scoring very well. She had 10 points in the first half. Only 3 since until that free throw, kind of similar to how she performed in the Davidson game as she knocks down the second, back to a 7-point lead. Rams on a 7-0 run as Alexis Black will head to the sideline. She's grasping her hip a little bit, so Alexis Black taking a beating so far tonight, Anthony.
Seems like she's wincing a little bit. Probably will get checked out with the trainers just to make sure she's 100% before going back out onto the court.
Rams double teaming Drake. Drake working around the perimeter. Now it's over to Kaylee Kirstoff. Here's Drake. Parker, 20-footer. No good. Edwards has the rebound. Shot clock is off. Coach Mitchell holds up her hands. Karen Easley's got the ball. Rams trail by only 7, 49-42. 10 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Easley slowly dribbling the ball between her legs. Now she's got to do something with it. Easley against Drake. Edwards, can she hit another three? Yes, she can! Lucretia Edwards is sizzling Anthony, and she cuts the deficit down to 4.
Scorching hot, some would say. Lucretia Edwards, a huge three for Fordham at the end of this third quarter to make it a 4-point game. I mean, it was a 22-0 run for St. Bonaventure at the beginning of this third quarter, and all of a sudden, Fordham has switched gears and has kept their foot on the gas and just draining threes, taking chances, being aggressive offensively. And we are in for quite an interesting fourth quarter, I would say, Max.
Lucretia Edwards, the Fordham savior, Anthony. She had 11 points in this third quarter, and that last three right there, which just beat the buzzer, caps off a 10-0 run to finish the quarter for the Rams. And what looked like a game they had all but lost. They trail now by only 4 with a lot of time to go in this ball game. We'll be right back with the exciting finish. Here, you're listening to Fordham Women's Basketball on WFUV Sports. And we welcome you back to the Riley Center here in Olean, New York. Third quarter break right now. Anthony, how about Lucretia Edwards? What a job right there in the third quarter for the Rams. Anastasia Veljovic hit a three to break a 22-0 run for the Bonnies. And then Lucretia Edwards says, I'll go on a little run of my own, and gets Fordham right back into the game.
Yeah, Lucretia Edwards has really stepped up in this second half. Alexis Black, not as great offensively as she was in that first half, but Lucretia Edwards says, no worries, I'll take it. Has 13 points now, has been a threat from beyond the arc, has been a threat from in the interior as well for this Fordham team. And Fordham has also done a really good job at creating points off turnovers. 24 compares to St. Bonaventure's 14. Now they're starting to take advantage of those opportunities. But something that really sticks out in this game as well is the free throw line. St. Bonaventure has been 15 times, made 14 of those attempts. Fordham has only been to the free throw line 4 times, has knocked down all 4, but that's a 10-point difference right there. I think Fordham's got to drive more into the interior, see if they can get to the charity stripe a little more to tack on some more points.
Let's see if they can do it here to start this fourth quarter. Lucretia Edwards back out onto the floor. She's a Fordham high plus 10 in a game they're down by 4. Here's Karen Easley, top of the key. DeYankin inside, spins, lefty layup, cannot finish. DeYankin crashes the board, ball is on the floor. Tia Morgan fighting for it. Gabby Robinson's got it for St. Bonaventure. And back come the bodies. Lacey Drake, cross court, McDonough driving on Hill. Great ball movement. Drake in the paint, floats it up, over and through. Lucretia Edwards over the top of her. Seems like whenever St. Bonaventure needs a basket, Lacey Drake is there to provide it.
Lacey Drake, one of the most improved players in the nation, coming from UAlbany.
And an offensive foul right there on DeYankin. Cannot have that. So tough plays right there from DeYankin. She misses the layup on the offensive end last time down. And then this time she is called for the illegal screen. And Coach Mitchell will take immediate action, subbing her out of the game. Lucretia Edwards also goes to the bench. You've got to imagine that's going to be a quick stint for her.
And that was just a rough minute there for Niankin. Obviously missing the layup after such a beautiful move. Gets beat by Lacey Drake there on the defensive side and then takes the foul as well.
Panelli gets to the rim and finishes. Easily had no chance with the height differential. And the Bodies lead by 8 again.
Now you see St. Bonaventure starting to get it back on their own run here to start off this fourth quarter.
Veljovic to the scorer's table. She'll check in at the next dead ball. Curran Easley, Alexis Black, wide open three. No good. Gabby Robinson pulls down the board for Fordham. For St. Bonaventure. Here comes St. Bonaventure. It's Lacey Drake inside. Pettinelli a triple. She's got it. Mackenzie Pettinelli, her third triple of the game. And this is a game of runs, Anthony. Timeout Rams, and the Bodies back up by 11, 56-45 with 8:26 here in the fourth.
And Pettinelli just wide open there. Very similar to how Alexis Black just shot that three. Black was wide open. She missed it. Pettinelli says, I've got this, and knocks down the triple for St. Bonaventure. Puts them back into a double-digit lead here, and an early timeout, much needed here for Fordham. I mean, it seems to be after every break, the run switches between teams, between St. Bonaventure going on one and Fordham going on one, and I think maybe Coach Bridgette Mitchell's trying to follow along that same path.
Yeah, and we mentioned it, Anthony. The difference right now is 11. The free throw difference is 10. So you mentioned it. These free throws pretty much have decided the game so far as the Rams trail by 11. You got to imagine Lucretia Edwards will play almost, if not all, of the rest of the game. Same with Alexis Black. Rams lead scoring. Those two have led Fordham so far, combining for 28 points on the evening.
And Max, you mentioned it before. I mean, how much do you want to play your star players and avoid of them getting hurt? But I think at this point you have to let Lucretia Edwards start going. I mean, it's not necessarily you need a win. You're staying at the bottom of the standings, but I think it's just more important for the momentum just to come out with a W rather than an L, even if you play great. I think it's just great for the team overall to at least see themselves on the right side of the winning column.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the Rams right now have confidence that they can come out on the right side of the winning column, especially because they've done it before. They came back from double digits in the second half against this very St. Bonaventure team 5 weeks ago. They're going to have to do the same thing here today to head into March with a victory. And what was supposed to be a 30-second timeout has got a lot longer than that, Anthony.
Yeah, but this St. Bonaventure team much improved, although they've had a struggling A-10 stint, this Bonnie's team. After starting 3-3, that Fordham game really threw them off the tracks, and they haven't been able to find their footing since. They went on a 5-game losing streak after that loss down in the Bronx, and then since then have had a 3-8 stretch. But now I think it's time for St. Bonaventure. I mean, they definitely want to turn the tables here in this New York rivalry in the A-10. Mentioned before, last time they won was 2016 against Fordham. It was down here, and they won 55-41. And now they've really struggled against this Fordham team throughout these past 10 years. It's been a 13 straight game win streak for Fordham.
That's right. Right now, the Bodies looking to clinch their first win in 10 years, like you mentioned, Anthony. They're also looking to clinch a first-round bye. They can do that with either a win or a St. Louis loss. Right now, St. Louis trails Davidson by 3. It's 50-47 with 55 seconds remaining in the third quarter down in North Carolina. We will keep you updated on that one as it finishes. But right now, the Bonnies 8 minutes and 26 seconds away from a first-round bye if they can take care of business here in Olean. Back underway, Tia Morgan with the basketball, gives it to Mason Hill. Lucretia Edwards still on the bench. Now Alexis Black gets it on the deflection. She's in the backcourt coming back the other way. Black gives it. Veljovic. Pump fakes the three, now feeds inside. Niankin up top, Black. Black with 5 to shoot. Against McDonough. Black puts it on the deck, throws it up. Wanted a foul, no call coming. She was a bit out of control there. And back comes St. Bonaventure. McDonough for 3. No good, and Niankin pulls down the board. Elise McDonough looking for a dagger in the heart of Fordham right there, but she could not finish.
Fordham catching a break. Niankin and Anastasia Veljovic bumped into each other right underneath the St. Bonaventure basket, put the Bonnies on a 5-on-3, but unable to capitalize.
Easily, and the aforementioned Lucretia Edwards at the scorer's table. We'll check it at the next dead ball. Here's Mason Hill now. Has not scored so far tonight. gives it. Niankin, free throw line jumper is good. Big shot right there from Ornella Niankin to get the deficit back to 9.
Fordham has been fighting against the shot clock these first 2 possessions coming out of the break. Need to start getting some more offensive opportunities and not fight against the shot clock.
Rams use the press. St. Bonaventure breaks it easily. Now McDonough bumps into Niankin, and an offensive foul is called. Niankin takes the charge a second after hitting a free throw line jumper. She takes the charge. So great work there from Ornella Niankin to get a bucket for the Rams and the ball back. Easley and Edwards return for more scoring for the Rams. Mason Hill and Alexis Black will go to the bench. 7 minutes and 5 seconds here to play. In the fourth quarter, Bonnie's lead at 56-47. Tia Morgan. Here's a Niankin screen. Morgan up top. Edwards. Edwards against Pettinelli. And there's Niankin with an illegal screen. She was moving, and it will go back in the direction of St. Bonaventure. Tough night here for Niankin. Very up and down on each possession, but she's committed a number of detrimental turnovers for the Rams that have taken the ball out of their hands, Anthony.
Yeah, Niankin coming off a 10-point performance against the Wildcats on Wednesday night. Really the opposite of what she did there in the Bronx. She's really struggled in this game, getting a lot of fouls, a lot of turnovers, and not really making those baskets down low for Fordham when they need.
Parker double teamed out near the timeline, gets it to the Cobb, Lacey Drake now. Guarded by Veljovic, a little bit of a mismatch here. Let's see what Drake can do with it. She gives it to Pettinelli on the right wing underneath Parker. Parker against Edwards. Parker back to Drake. Drake, 8-footer is good. Lacey Drake has hit a number of those mid-range jumpers today, and she puts St. Bonaventure back up by 11. Easley, 2-man game with Lucretia Edwards, who is fouled by Pettinelli, not in the act of shooting. Rams will have it at the baseline.
And Max, we kind of mentioned just Ornella Niankin right there a little bit ago. I mean, so crucial for them down low in the paint, just kind of being that height advantage that they need. But we haven't really seen Emma Wilson-Saltos out there on the floor in a while. I just noticed that.
Yeah, Emma Wilson-Saltos played a lot in the first half. Coach Mitchell has opted for different options here in the second half, as Lucretia Edwards cannot knock down the 18-footer. Ball is tipped out of bounds. It will go the direction of St. Bonaventure, as Anastasia Veljovic unable to save it on the baseline.
And perhaps we could see a punishment on Emma Wilson-Saltos after that pass she fired that ended up in a turnover, and maybe that's why we haven't seen a lot of her throughout this second half.
6 minutes to play here in the game. St. Bonaventure leads by 11. Lacey Drake now around Veljovic and finishes at the cup. Boy, Lacey Drake is just outworking everybody on the floor. She's up to 18 on the afternoon, and she's got the St. Bonaventure up by 13 now, 60-47. Easily spinning in the paint. Euro step, cannot finish. Niankin skies in for the rebound but cannot control it. And Parker comes back the other way for St. Bonaventure. Here come the bodies. They've got numbers. Parker underneath, ball's deflected, and Gabby Robinson cannot save it as she goes tumbling into her own bench. Alexis Black returns. Veljovic to the bench for the Rams, who trail by 13 with 5:16 remaining in this one. It's kind of now or never for the Rams to make a run, Anthony, if they want any shot of emerging victorious here.
And I think that they got the right players on. Alexis Black, Corinne Easley, Lucretia Edwards, along with Tia Morgan. I haven't really seen her shoot the 3-ball, but she can be effective if Fordham needs her. They've got their scorers on here with these last 5 minutes trying to mount a comeback.
Easley drives, blocks by Parker. Aliyah Parker with 19 on the offensive end, rejects Karen Easley there as she tries to lay it up. Great play from Aliyah Parker. And the Rams will retain possession now. 5:02 here in the fourth quarter. It's Niankin in, working on Gabby Robinson, and flips it up and in with the left hand. Nice shot right there from Ornella Niankin. Had one lane taken away, went up and under, and got the bucket.
She's got some really shifty moves, but it's all about finishing right next to the basket for her. And she does it so well right there.
Pettinelli in the paint. Parker with it. Throws it away. Gabby Robinson could not handle her pass. So the Rams get a bucket. They get a stop now with 4:40 to play here. They trail by 11. Black, Easley, Morgan, Niankin, and Lucretia Edwards on the floor for Fordham. It's Jankanovich, Parker, Gabby Robinson, Lacey Drake, and Pettinelli on the floor for St. Bonaventure.
Nice job there by Karinisa to draw the foul on Jankanovich. Just trying to get those fouls up on St. Bonaventure so they can get in the bonus, get to the free throw line a lot more times. Seen St. Bonaventure been there a plenty amount of times here today. Fordham just trying to do the same, especially with these last 4.5 minutes.
Black tosses to Easley. Easley at the center circle. Now Alexis Black. Black on the right wing. Black falls down. She's fouled. Pettinelli is furious. She did not think that was a foul, but the call will stand, and Fordham racking up a couple fouls here. This could be big as we inch down towards the last 2 minutes. Talking about free throws in the bonus here.
Yeah, now they're at 4, and they got to be careful they don't get in the bonus here.
Tia Morgan with it. Cross-court pass, Alexis Black. Black on the right wing, tosses it inside. Niankin against Gabby Robinson. Backs her down, finds Lucretia Edwards. What a pass from Niankin, but unable to control it was Edwards. Now the Rams get it back as the ball is loose. Easily has it, gives it to Morgan. Morgan, left corner three is good. Tia Morgan knocks down the left corner triple, and it's back to 8. Rams getting it close, but they can't seem to just get over that hump now with 3:50 remaining. 60-52 St. Bonaventure. Jankanovich has it, back to Aaliyah Parker. Parker against Black. Gives it to Drake now. Lacey Drake, the closer for this Bonnie's team. Drives inside, ball is deflected. It will stay with St. Bonaventure.
Oh, I mentioned it before, Max. Tia Morgan could be an asset for Fordham if they need her beyond the arc. Easily decides to give her the opportunity, and she knocks down the corner three where she's so good.
7 to shoot for St. Bonaventure. Parker up top with 4 to shoot. Throws it cross court. Pettinelli, tough three. Oh, she's fouled by Curran Easley. That's a foul you just cannot have right there. Fouling a 3-point shooter in the corner with 1 second on the shot clock. And Mackenzie Pettinelli will head to the stripe for 3 free throws.
Yeah, a foul that you just absolutely cannot commit. Easily there in shock. Still mouthing something at the ref. She believes that she did not foul.
Pettinelli hits the first. And St. Bonaventure now 15 of 16 from the free throw line. Free throws have been the difference in this one so far as Pettinelli, cool and collected, knocks down her second. She's got 15. 3 players in double figures for St. Bonaventure. It's Parker, Drake, and Pettinelli as she knocks down all 3.
And Max, something to watch out for these last 3.5 minutes. Easily at 4 fouls, in danger of being fouled out of the game. Fouled out last game against Davidson as well. Something we haven't really seen from her throughout this whole season, but now back-to-back games, she's in foul trouble.
Definitely something to keep an eye on, as Easley is the main ball handler for this Rams. Lucretia Edwards with it. Behind the back dribble, now Karen Easley on the right wing. Easley right-hand dribbles. Now baseline. Tia Morgan, another 3. It's good, and the foul! Tia Morgan with a chance for a 4-point play as she drills another one from the left corner.
Well, I mean, call me a predictor of the future. I might as well just call Tia Morgan stepping into this game when Fordham needs her most, specifically in these last 4 minutes. Brings the Fordham bench back to life. Everyone on their feet after that 3-pointer. And obviously the chance to make it a 4-point play.
You talk about that, Anthony. Could be a huge momentum swing. You've got the foul from Easley on one end. Now Tia Morgan, chance to get 4 points on one possession for the Rams. At the free throw line, she does knock down the foul shot. So she completes the 4-point play. Rams trail by 7, 63-56. 3 minutes and counting here to go in this one. Lacey Drake with it, directing traffic. Now to Gabby Robinson. Gabby Robinson to Drake. Drake against Morgan. Now Parker backing down Edwards in the paint. Spins, fades, and finishes. Edwards fell down, and Parker shot one that went in and out and back in again. And Anthony, it feels like just when the Rams start to make a run, it's Parker or Drake hitting a shot on the other end that just stops the Rams in their tracks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're just so good at getting a basket whenever the St. Bonaventure team needs them to. Parker does it right there and gets a little lucky, bounces off the rim a couple times, falls through, but, I mean, knocks Lucretia Edwards down her feet. And, I mean, when they need them most, when St. Bonaventure needs their top players most, they come through for them in these last couple of minutes of the game, and they're coming through here. And St. Bonaventure with 65 points now.
Yeah, you look at this game, it's kind of been very indicative of what the trends have been all year for Fordham. First quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter have not been bad. They've kept pace with the other team, but the deciding factor in this one so far has been that second quarter. The Bonnies won it by 12. They lead by 9 currently.
And for the Bonnies, I mean, 60 is the magic number. When they hold their opponents to 60 or less points, they're 12-3 on the season. That might have been something they didn't have to worry about a couple quarters ago, but now at 56, I mean, Fordham's entering that range, but they also got to hold them defensively.
Alexis Black for 3. Air ball. Tia Morgan with the rebound flying in, but her layup hit the bottom of the backboard, blocked by the board, and now here come the Bonnies. Rams trail by 9, 2:24 to play. Parker dribble handoff Lacey Drake against Tia Morgan. Bonnies in no rush. Drake working on Black, easily comes away, ball's on the deck. Lacey Drake wants it more, she's got it. Mackenzie Pettinelli feeds Parker, who finishes with the layup. Lacey Drake wanted it more than all 5 Fordham defenders right there, and she gets the St. Bonaventure lead back to double digits.
Amazing how Lacey Drake was able to maintain possession there. Easily came out of nowhere to get that ball, and Lacey Drake somehow able to hold on.
Incredible focus. Rams need a bucket, and they get it. Tia Morgan sprinting to the cup. Almost a concession there from St. Bonaventure, as their main goal is not to allow any threes. They've also got the clock on their side. Lacey Drake knows it. She slows it up, working out on the perimeter.
If last possession was a must-need defensive stop, this one even more for Fordham.
McDonough, 11 to shoot. Underneath to Drake. Drake directing traffic. Now Pettinelli fading from the left elbow, and she's got it. Mackenzie Pettinelli has hit a number of big shots today en route to 18 points. Perhaps none bigger than that one, as she makes it 11 with 66 seconds to play.
Tough shot. Almost seemed like she was off balance.
Alexis Black from 3 from the perimeter over the top of Gabby Robinson. That one keeps the Rams there breathing on life support right now as they trail by 8. 54 seconds to go in this one. Rams have to start thinking about fouling now. Lacey Drake letting every second bleed off that clock is precious for St. Bonaventure. Easily does foul her. Hits her arm with 45 seconds to go. Bodies are in the bonus. Good news for Fordham as they don't have to foul and take more time off the clock. That one's on easily. It will be her 5th, and she is out of the game. So as you mentioned, Anthony, something to keep an eye on. She was forced to foul out right there in order to help her team.
And easily very frustrated with the call. That leads to her being fouled out. I mean, 45 seconds left, but I mean, if you're going to mount a comeback, you want easily. She's so good at feeding the ball to the rest of her team. And also just really good at manufacturing some points when she can.
Veljovic back in for Easley. Bonaventure's Bonnies had it out of bounds. And now Morgan fouls Lacey Drake with just 2.3 coming off the clock. So 69-61, 42.7 to go in this one.
Max, I mean, Pettinelli and Drake and Parker, 59 points combined out of St. Bonaventure's 69 here today.
Drake calmly nails the free throw, 70. And you mentioned it, Anthony, those 3 players have been the ones to beat Fordham. Drake, Parker, and Pettinelli as Drake gets it again, her 20th point of the evening.
It's very unlike this Fordham team in a sense of the bench points that Fordham gets. They get a lot of bench points, a lot of variety in scoring. I mean, today you see mostly Alexis Black and Lucretia Edwards going for Fordham easily on some days, and the Yankins got 8 as well. Tia Morgan with 9, but I mean, the St. Bonaventure team relying on these 3 scores. Didn't have him. You don't know where this game would be. They'd definitely not be at the 71 points they have right now in the 10-point lead.
Rams trail by 10. They will come back and almost immediately need to make a 3 to have a chance in this one. Got to imagine Tia Morgan, Lucretia Edwards, Alexis Black will be out there on the floor as the Rams' 3 best perimeter shooters. Bonnies will stick with the lineup that's got him here in the 4th quarter. It's Drake, Jankanovich, Pettinelli, Parker, and Elise McDonough.
And they've got it done these last couple minutes. St. Bonaventure 8 for their last 9 in field goal attempts. Mackenzie Pettinelli, Aaliyah Parker, and Lisa Drake all are scorching hot right now. Pettinelli 5 for her last 6, Parker 4 for her last 5, and Lacey Drake 3 for her last 4. And to add, Pettinelli's 3 for 4 in her last 4 3-point attempts.
Morgan, Edwards, and Black on the floor for the Rams as their 3-point shooters. Morgan for 3, it's an air ball, it's no good. Mitchell also put in Valjevich and Yankin for offensive rebounding purposes, but on that one, no offensive rebound to be had. A quick trigger from Morgan falls short. And this one all but said and done, unless Tia Morgan gets a steal, which she does. Ball is back to St. Bonaventure, and we've got a jump ball called, possession arrow in favor of the Bonnies. And the Rams will be really hard-pressed to come back in this one now, trailing by 10 with 33.8 to go.
And once again, looks like Tia Morgan may have got a deflection on that 3-point attempt that led to the air ball, but what a great effort to at least get the steal and throw it into Anastasia Valjevich. Ended up too wide of a pass, but I mean, you can't ask for anything perfect out of Tia Morgan in that scenario. Just incredible enough to at least get it back in.
Yeah, especially can't blame her for shooting that 3, because she did nail one from the left corner, and then she hit another one and got the free throw for a 4-point play. 7 points in a matter of 2 possessions. Drake is fouled immediately again on the inbounds. She will head to the free throw line. And as long as she keeps making her free throws, St. Bonaventure is going to clinch a first-round bye in next week's A10 tournament. And make them she does. Lacey Drake. Looks like Steph Curry from the free throw line right there. She just cannot miss. Up to 21 points on the evening. Make it 22 as she drills another one.
And what a turnaround it's been for Lacey Drake. Mentioned before, one of the most improved players in the country last season. Last year at U Albany only averaged 3.3 points. This year averaging 15, 6.0 rebounds, 2.5 assists per game. Also registered 52 steals on the season. Ranks 8th in scoring in the Atlantic 10 and has been one of the best in the Atlantic 10 and one of the best on the St. Bonaventure team in terms of scoring, and could be one of those players that you remember in tournament runs.
Definitely will be somebody to watch for next week in Virginia, along with Aaliyah Parker and Mackenzie Pettinelli, who, like you mentioned, Anthony, have combined for almost all of St. Bonaventure's points today. Rams trail by a dozen, 32.8 to go. They need a miracle at this point. But you look at this game as a whole. Yes, the Rams did lose, but again, similar to Davidson, there were positives to take away. The Rams were resilient down the stretch. They've been making shots. Tia Morgan, 4-point play. Lucretia Edwards, big 11 points there in that 3rd quarter. These are definitely silver linings to take into March and next week in Virginia.
And the difference in free throws here today, 16 compared from St. Bonaventure to Fordham.
Valjevich to inbound. The ball is deflected by Drake, and it's so fitting right there. Or, excuse me, timeout was tried to call, and now at the other end, it's Valjevich Niankin who finishes at the rim. So Rams cut it to 10. But Lacey Drake with the deflection right there. It's so fitting that she is the one to finish this off. Been the Bonnies' closer all year on the offensive end. She makes a nice play on the defensive end right there. And she will head back to the free throw line, looking to become the game's leading scorer if she knocks both of these down, which will give her 24 points on the afternoon.
And it's so fitting that this game is likely going to end at the free throw line. She knocks down another one of me. 23 points. Same as Parker. Pettinelli 2 away from the 20 mark as well. Incredible to have 3 players, or almost 3 players, in the 20-point mark.
Yeah. Black, now Morgan, one fake, a dribble, a 3 is good. Tia Morgan knocks it down, her 3rd 3-pointer of the 4th quarter. And now Alexis Black with a steal. She fires up a corner 3. That one's no good. Wow, would have been interesting if she had hit that one. Would have been a 6-point game with maybe 10 seconds to go, but the ball's deflected out of bounds. It will go to St. Bonaventure. 9.8 on the game clock. 30-second timeout by head coach Jim Crowley and St. Bonaventure. And Anthony, I watched Lacey Drake
And she just reminds me of someone I know we both love, and that's Day Reeves of the Fordham Rams. It feels like some of this Fordham women's team is missing a little bit. They've got players that can score, but when it comes down to crunch time, when you need a bucket, it always feels like Drake and Day Reeves, for that matter, can be relied on to close the game and run the offense when it matters most, and that's exactly what Drake's done here today.
Yeah, it's important to have a player like that, especially come tournament time and the A10 and in March Madness. And but Fordham haven't really seen that as much. Haven't really seen those players come through in those last couple of minutes. You got players who can score the basket, but haven't really had the opportunities to come through within like last second shots. It's mostly either Fordham or the other team is coming out and just hitting some free throws to end the game.
Mackenzie Pettinelli to inbound the basketball. She's guarded by Tia Morgan, doing jumping jacks with her hands to try to prevent Pettinelli's vision. Now it's Drake. A little touch foul from Lucretia Edwards, so Lacey Drake will have a chance to add a couple more points to her stat line here at the free throw line with 7.6 remaining. She hits yet another free throw. Wow, Lacey Drake. Will she ever miss one, Anthony? I don't think so.
I don't think so, and I don't think this team might ever miss one again. I mean, only one miss throughout this whole entire game.
She is in some rhythm right now. She gets them both. Tia Morgan up ahead. It's deflected out of bounds by Elise McDonough with 4.4 remaining. 77-66 St. Bonaventure, 4.4 on the game clock. Veljevich, Edwards, Black, Morgan, and Yankin on the floor here for the final 5 seconds of this regular season. Veljevich to inbound. It's Tia Morgan. She fires up a three. It's good with 1.8. So Tia Morgan, great side for her. She's hit 4 triples here in this fourth quarter. Aaliyah Parker's got it. The game clock runs out, and St. Bonaventure will clinch a first-round bye heading to Richmond next week. They win it 77-69. Lacey Drake with 26, Aaliyah Parker with 23, and Mackenzie Pettinelli, the three-point sniper, had 18. For the Rams, they were led by Alexis Black, Lucretia Edwards with 13, including 11 in the third quarter, and Tia Morgan, 4 triples in the fourth quarter, but it was too little, too late for these Rams, who fall to 2-16 on the conference season, Anthony.
Yeah, but this Fordham team, I think going forward, I mean, they sit at the bottom of the A10 standings going into the tournament, but I think every team is going to look out for this Fordham team. I mean, the only thing that's going to kill them today is obviously the 22-0 run, but when Fordham is on one, they can be a dangerous team. We saw in the third quarter when they went on the run. Lucretia Edwards, when she is going, I mean, she could be sizzling hot for this Fordham team, knocking down triples from wherever. Tia Morgan in that fourth quarter, Alexis Black throughout the entire game, easily when Fordham needs her most. It's just all about playing a complete 40 minutes with this team. And for them, they didn't play the 40 minutes. They played maybe 20, or not 20, 30, because of the 10-minute run they won on where they went scoreless.
Yeah, absolutely. In this game, Anthony, definitely some good things for Fordham to take going into March. You look at the turnovers on the night, they had 16. They forced 21 St. Bonaventure turnovers, though. That's definitely something to look at as a good sign. But the free throw line, St. Bonaventure, 25 of 26 from there. At that point, you just got to give them credit for making so many free throws. They shot better than most NBA teams do from the line in that game, Anthony. So definitely some good signs for Fordham as they head into Virginia next week. They lose by 8, but they are certainly a team to look out for in the A10 tournament. They could make some noise. For Max Langer, this has been my first and final broadcast of the year. Anthony Smith, this has probably been your final broadcast of the year as well, as Tucker Austin and Kurt Sippel will be headed to Virginia next week. We'll see what the Rams and everyone else in that tournament can do. Thank you so much for listening. For Anthony Smith, I've been Max Langer. You've been listening to Fordham Women's Basketball, a production of WFUV Sports.